Hi, this is Daniel Posney, and this is Shifting Perspectives. And right away, I want to apologize if I hooked you dishonestly. No, this is not about me. When I put this out there, I kind of thought about it. Maybe people might get the wrong impression, but it worked. It got you here. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because there's several couples that I'm working with that's the question. Should we break up? And I love working with this. I love working with couples that are thinking about that because it's a normal thing to think. And you think sometimes it could take the smallest thing, and someone thinks, well, maybe we're not meant to be together. And then for some people, they go through so much and so much, and the thought of breaking up just brings up all these questions. But what I usually share with people is that before you make any decisions, work on your stuff. And for most people, this is completely new to them. They're used to them working on this stuff means, you discuss it, you argue about it, you get to some resolution. That's not exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how it's making you feel, these triggers that come up, if you could look deeper into without blaming the other person and find out what the core thing is. And like for one person, it might be that their partner has lied to them. And that could be a reason to break up. I'm just so tired of this person lying to me. But if you talk to the person that's being lied to, maybe that person that's lying to them is scared about telling them the truth because of what the consequences may be. And it may be the person that is being lied to is not actually being honest with the liar, that they're worried about what they may say to the other person, so they don't say anything. And so the person that's the liar is kind of the control in the relationship. So both have parts in their relationship about not exactly telling the truth. And this goes back to what I've said before, is that, when there's a narcissist, there's also a person that doesn't know how to speak their mind, to speak their truth. They're just in the same room. So the person that's the liar, that just can't tell the truth, there's something also with the other person, that they also aren't being as honest as they could be. So it may not be that they're a liar in the big sense, but are they not being honest with themselves? So this is kind of a signal or a message or a metaphor, so that the person sees in a big way that you're not being honest with yourself also. So no, you're not a liar like this person is, but you're also kind of in the same family somehow. So that's what I go into, is to find out what the core reason solution is about the whole thing. So this brought me to, the Clash song, should I stay or should I go now? If I go, there will be trouble. If I stay, it will be double. And I know that I've sung this to myself in other relationships. I remember, I was in a relationship with a really cute, intelligent, smart person, aware, but with a drug problem. And when I tried to break up, she started to stalk me. I had to go to the sheriff. I had to go call the sheriff, go into the sheriff to put a restraining order on this, 4'9" person. But it's, so the question is, should I stay or should I go? It's definitely, should I go? But that really wasn't the main issue. The main issue was about honesty. The main issue was about saying something that could have some consequences. And for me, it caused somebody to react in a certain way that I had to go to the sheriff for. But I had to make that decision. And some of these decisions come up with all these different possibilities. Like, here's some. Now is not the right time. The kids are in school. It's Christmas time. It's the birthday's coming up. There's never a right time to make a decision. Or what I want to talk about is to talk about it, to have some resolution about what's going on here. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt him or her. And that causes us not to talk about these things, not to be real about it. The kids could be hurt. Well, the kids are being hurt whether you know it or not. If there's some um, hurt going on, some even some physical or emotional abuse going on, the kids are being hurt with that because they're being shown that this is okay. Um, he or she might hurt me, and that's where I had to bring in the sheriff. That's where I had to, you know, create a restraining order. So if there's some kind of physical abuse going on, then that definitely is a, you know, uh, there's a much better life for you that doesn't have to have the physical abuse. You've been a part of it, but there's some actions that you need to take to extract yourself from that. We're not that bad, and that's the one that we grew up with. Is that it's not that bad. We fight sometimes, and it's just kind of up. There's some ups and downs and that kind of thing. But if you're okay with that, then I hope that's working for you. But relationship, love, that is not love. That is relationship, and that is an unhealthy relationship. But that's not love. So that's one thing that I want to be really clear on is that if you're looking for love, you're not going to find it there. So if you want to keep doing it that way, it's serving some purpose. But there is such great love for you. But the part to heal from is whether you're worthy of that kind of love or not. And for a lot of people, that's where it kind of plays into. And I've actually heard people say that my husband or my wife told me, no one will ever love you, you know, or no one will love you like I can, which is complete bullshit. So that's the part to kind of look at yourself. Um, I don't know what else to do. Yeah, it's a normal thing to not know who you are outside of this relationship. After I was married for 14 years, the big decision on getting a divorce was only half of my problems. The other half was about, could I support myself? Could I support myself and my kids and my ex-wife with all the, alimony and child support and all that stuff? Um, who am I outside of this relationship? Am I going to lose all my friends and my family and my in-laws? Yeah, there's a definite possibility with that. But the other option was depression. And I was going into, having suicidal thoughts. What if I just kind of left and it's just too much pain ahead of me? But if I could be shown what was in the future for me, you know, I get emotional just even thinking about it, that there was a possibility that I wouldn't recover from this. And the thoughts that I was thinking about is that I'm just in this agony and this despair for the rest of my life. But that's not what happens. But there needs to be an extraction from the old life that wasn't healthy. And there kind of needs to be this realization and real conversation around this isn't healthy. And I remember having this with, a couple of different relationships of, you're not happy, really. I'm not happy. And this is becoming unhealthy. And it's not only unhealthy for you and I, but for the kids and for, you know, anybody that we interact with when we're in this place of unloving communication. So that really has to kind of be looked at and say, okay, this is the real honest truth. And that for a lot of people is the work in of itself is just to be honest with it. And that, you can't discount any love. I mean, the reason why it's so hard is because you love this person so much and that you're even contemplating this. But that conversation needs to be had. And the other one is, we've got so much invested. Why would you want to throw it all away? I've heard that one before. Why would you want to throw it all away after all that we've been through? That is no reason to stay in a relationship. And there's no reason to expect love to come out of that. So usually it's that the relationship has fulfilled its purpose and met its completion date. And we're struggling with the realization of this. And their completion date have happened maybe a long time ago. And I remember in my first marriage, I think the completion date was a few days after we got married. but I stuck it out. And that's a dangerous place to be, is when you're just sticking it out. Luckily, the one thing that I have no regrets on is the two beautiful daughters that we created. And it wasn't all bad, for sure, but I was missing out, or I did not know what real love looked like. It was not what I was living. Let's see. Or the relationship is stuck in old communication and patterns which have not been fully healed. So what we try and do, we try and meet the relationship in the communication style that we're used to, that came from our childhood. So if we come to a place from our childhood that um, is not communicative, that people don't talk about their emotions, and we just stuff things, or we freeze, and we try and go into a relationship. And of course, we'll be in a relationship that someone is used to communicating and used to clearing things up, and they need to be with someone who was unlike their father, who was closed down emotionally. That's the kind of relationship that happens sometimes. So you can't communicate in the same way that you communicated in your childhood. There needs to be a shift in how the most healthy and enlightened way of communicating happens. Either way, whether you stay together or you don't stay together, there's clarity and some enlightenment to discover at this point. Many times it's not about the breakup per se, but as much as about the honesty. My part in all this is when couples are ready to deepen their relationship and intimacy and stay together or not, I encourage the inner work that will either bring them closer together in a relationship in a way that they never thought was possible, or clear the way, meaning old patterns and beliefs, for both of them separately to find greater love. Either way, it's a beautiful thing. And when you think about that, I mean, when we think about something so high, that you would do the work together, knowing that you're breaking up. Wow. That you would say, no, this is how much I love you, that I want the best for you, that I want love for you. And I realize that us together are dynamics, and what we can't seem to work out, these irreconcilable differences or whatever the thing is, that I love you so much that I want to do whatever I can to clear myself, and then you do whatever you can to, so that you elevate yourself to a higher frequency of consciousness, thereby attracting a different relationship. And hopefully that next relationship is a relationship with yourself. So that to me, just that gets me so emotionally charged, that someone could have that kind of love for another person, that would say, there's a part of me that wants to stay in attachment and codependency, because it kind of clings to that. And that's the part that wants me to stay, just to, not be a bad person, and not be a person that runs away, or any kind of thoughts that go into that, that says, no, I want you to be in a loving relationship, and I'm not the right person for that. But there is some work that I can do while we're still in communication, we're still kind of together, that we can kind of be honest with each other. And what I mean by that is having a conversation and say, what is it about me that triggers you? What is it about me that needs to improve? And whatever comes out of that person's mouth, a lot of it will be their own projection, or a lot of it will be their own stuff that they need to be worked on. But some of it may be true for you to look at. You never listened to me. Well, that may be not entirely 100% true, but some of it may be true. So there's some of it that you can kind of go, well, when I'm unbalanced, when I'm not myself, is it, sometimes I'm not a good listener, and I don't listen to a person. So when that person gets fired up about something, part of it is them, but part of it also may be you. So there's this great opportunity to look at that. What else? You can see that the reasons that I gave before about the, why not to, why this isn't a good time, or the kids may be hurt and that kind of stuff. All those things are reasons to stay in fear. All those, they're like fear-based reasons to stay in a relationship that is not working out, or it's not beneficial to continue, or it's not the right relationship unless you start doing some really deep work around it. So the fact that those reasons are kind of fear based is not really looking at the honest truth about the relationship. If the relationship is not a healthy relationship and is not speaking volumes of love, then why are you staying in it? And the reasons tend to be reasons that don't really make a lot of sense, that keep you in this out of integrity. Is I think the word that I would give myself is that I wasn't really in integrity with myself. And I may be in integrity with my wife and my partner at the time, through some form of obligation and guilt, and not how knowing how to speak this what's in my heart. But I wasn't, so I wasn't in integrity with myself. And that's really kind of what it comes down to. So that's all I got for now for this little short 15-minute episode. I hope this helps. And of course, if you want to go deeper in this and work on the relationship, and even if you're not together with that person, this is what I do. So thank you. I love you. Bless you. Till next time.